What up, folks? I am Ultrazilla, and this is Ultrazilla Live. It's been about a couple of weeks since I've done one of these. We had the Thanksgiving break, though, and I did do 2 premieres that weekend, so I didn't want to do an extra live on top of all of that. But I am back with an Ultrazilla Live tonight, and I got a really cool special guest, an old friend of the channel. We've been talking back and forth for quite a while. We finally met last year before all this craziness came on. He's a really good artist. He's got a very unique channel, I think. And I'm glad he's back to doing it, but we're going to discuss that. I'm going to bring in now Naz of Naztalgic. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. I'm well. Now that I'm talking to you and being honored to grace your amazing channel here that I've been a fan of for years.
The feeling is mutual, sir. I'm glad to have you here, man. Talking, about all that we do. A lot of parallels. Both doing the YouTube, both like artists. And doing other stuff. Not the YouTube stuff. And and I feel like there's a lot of parallels here, and I think that's why we've always clicked, and that's why when we finally did meet at ToyCon New Jersey, it was just like, oh. Naz.
Oh my god. Yeah, I saw you from a distance. It was a while ago too, but yeah, back then I was kind of starstruck, man. I was like, oh my god, that's that DC freaking letterer guy. Oh my god.
Wow, well, it was last year, right? That was 2019. That was last year.
No, that was no. Last year was.
Yeah, pretty sure. Because there's a few ToyCon New Jerseys, so it was a few. Yeah. It was a few ToyCon New Jerseys ago, but it was definitely last year.
I'm discombobulated now. Thanks, 2020.
It's 2020 now, a crazy 2020, of course. But you've been through a lot of different things this year. On YouTube. You left YouTube for a little bit.
Yeah.
And one of your big things has been flea markets and flea market videos and doing the flea markets and all that. You'll explain that in a second. But you left that as well. And, it's funny because when you announced you left is when I first asked you, like, oh, maybe you'd want to come on and talk about that. But there's been a little bit of a break since then. And in the past week, you've come back to YouTube and you've gone back to the flea market.
That's right. Yeah.
So I guess we should start there.
Sure.
So why did you leave both the flea markets and YouTube?
Okay. So I more so left the flea market thing. I think I still maybe post a little bit. I also started a second channel as well. It's a Ukrainian language channel.
Oh, wow.
I also review things. I haven't told anyone. Actually, this is when I tell people about it.
This is the debut.
There's 2 subscribers. Don't even worry about it. But I left flea market videos. Honestly, that was my bread and butter, to say. People really tuned into my channel because of that. Because of my friends, how we would all hang out, the finds I would get. I would share my friends' finds. That was amazing. But I've been going to the flea market since I was a kid. Like, me and my dad started together. And I've always been at the market almost every weekend. And then when my dad couldn't go, I kept going. Then I met some good friends there. And I would just go to hang out with them. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start filming. And that's when the YouTube thing happened. And after a while, it just became almost like a necessity. Like, I had to produce a video every week or twice a week of going to the flea market. And I can't always find things. I can't always spend all that money on getting things. It can't always be a grail that I found, So I kind of got burned out is where I'm getting at.
Right.
So, yeah, it kind of got weird, and it gets very long-winded. There's a couple of people that weren't so nice, and I just needed a break from everything. Just from toxic people, from being burned out from all the material things. But I still love toys, so I would still hunt for those just on my own time, by myself, or with a friend or 2 of mine. We would just go and do it.
It's kind of refreshing to just do it just for yourself.
Oh my god, Sal, dude, you don't even. it's it just got so overwhelming to just constantly go and film something. I just want to go and pick something up, look at it, process it in my head, enjoy it, take it home, look at it, play with it. I'm not old, but yeah, so I got burnt out.
You're never too old to play with your toys.
I agree with you, good sir, and that's the mantra I preach as well. You're never too old, man. As long as it makes you happy and those around you, nothing wrong with it. But yeah, so that's short story short. That's what that was all about. And recently, I kind of, the whole thing with the 2020 situation.
The situation,
yeah. The word we do not say
on YouTube.
I know, right? It's become Sauron,
Yeah.
But yeah, we couldn't really go to the market either. So I was like, you know what? It was kind of a good timing for me to take a break, and I can't really go anyway, so let's just let that slide. But yeah, then I kind of went back here and there a little bit, didn't film, and then finally this last weekend, I think, I finally filmed again, and friends got together again, and I'm gonna film tomorrow again, by the way.
That's great.
So yeah, I kind of got interest again. I just don't want to do it every weekend, I want to
You shouldn't feel obligated to,
Exactly.
Right. But your channel, and let's just say hello to people that are in the chat. We got Jaden, Luminous, Matt, Turner, and it's Turner and Matt again.
Hi, everybody.
So let's backtrack a little bit. I mean, for folks that come to my channel and don't know you, what is Naztalgic about?
Naztalgic is mostly it goes way back a little bit. It's more of my artist name, like my tag from back in the day. I never used it all the time, but eventually I went with it because my name is Nazar, short for Naz, and then I'm all about the nostalgia. And I came to America from Ukraine, and I was 11 years old, so Ukraine was still occupied by the Soviet Russia, so there wasn't really that much toys to choose from. So when I came to America or Canada, I was like, whoa, Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, Transformers, So, like my young eyes were just blown away. So, years passed and, collections, I always collected my whole life. And eventually the nostalgia mixed with Nas, and I did art. I did, a little bit of legal graffiti, and stuff like that, and doodled a lot and kind of used that name here and there. And now, when I started the YouTube channel, that's what it became. That's Naztalgic. I'm an artist. I'm a filmmaker. That's what I do.
And wasn't your channel first about your filmmaking stuff, if I remember correctly?
Wow, you are good, man. Nice. Wow. Like nobody knows that. Yeah, I started the channel in film school just to have my reels on there. I don't even know if I still have my reels on there now. I gotta check. But yeah, it was just to have my reels to kind of watch videos from other people and make little goofy videos here and there, and that's it. So it really became about the collecting later.
Yeah, I went to film school as well, actually. A lot of people don't know that. I went to SVA for film. I got accepted into School of Visual Arts for film. But I didn't, I went like about a year and a half in film, and I was just like, it wasn't clicking with me, like as much as I thought it was going to click. And I was still like drawing my comics on the side. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'm at the School of Visual Arts where comics is a huge thing too. I'm just going to slide over because this film thing is just not working for me at the time. I probably, had I known I was going to end up on YouTube, I probably would have stuck it out a little longer so to learn a little more.
You don't need film for YouTube.
No, but still, some of those skills have translated a little bit that I learned, but it's a totally different world now than it was back then, for sure. But what else do you do? Like, what is your artwork? What do you do?
My artwork, I can do paint, kind of classical, not with oil, but acrylics. I can paint like that. I can sketch a little bit. Actually, it's funny that you said that when you went to film school, you were kind of like, I'm going to shift over. I almost abandoned film and went for sculpture.
Abandoned
Actually,
film.
I minored in sculpture.
Wow, that's cool.
But I didn't give up on film because honestly, dude, I was learning stuff, but I was like, I know this already. I understand, aperture, f-stops,
Yeah.
whatever. And we had to learn an actual film. Like, now you just go, it's push auto settings, just do this, watch some YouTube tutorials, you're good to go, But so yeah, so sculpture, and right now I'm really big with the 3D collages. People seem to love them. I've been making these since 2009-ish,
Oh wow.
so for a while.
Yeah.
And for a while back in the day, I did really good. I was selling at galleries. That was my main bread and butter. Just I would make them throughout the month, take them to the two galleries, get my money, and keep working on it. And that was the cycle. But my main gallery, unfortunately, closed down. They moved to Singapore, and now it's like a retail store. And
Ah.
I couldn't, as an artist, I was like, I don't want to look for another gallery. So I took a break, and started doing other jobs, all sorts of different jobs, just to learn. I can literally build a house and fix everything in it now because I took side jobs and learned things.
Yeah,
So
you're like all over the place. You do a
I
lot of
am.
different things.
I get bored quick, so I kind of want to do something else. But the collage stuff and art and filmmaking videos has never left me. So yeah.
Have you like I mean you have done some videos based on your art, like
Yeah.
like I was surprised because when you were saying you were leaving YouTube for a while, like that wasn't more of a focus, like for your channel, like you know what I'm saying, like I thought you might just switch over to doing that more, like here, like
I
here's
am.
like process you are now.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna still keep a little bit of that flea market thing, but
Yeah.
it's not gonna be every week. It's if I go and I feel like it, I'll make a video. If I feel like making a little review of a toy that I'm all about, I'll do that. But I do plan to make more art tutorials, maybe things I make or my ideas. I'm about to start building the Eagle Moss Back to the Future DeLorean, the 1/8 scale. It's like huge. Just for fun, just make fun videos of that stuff. But yeah, it's gonna become more of a art mixed with all of my interests, I guess. It's kind of hard to explain because I am all over the place. I'm a weird and crazy guy.
No, but it's good to be diverse. It keeps you interested,
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, just if people those that still remain subscribed and still watch, I guess they get it. They find something I do or say interesting, and I guess I'm gonna keep going. And if people stick with me, that's cool. If not, it is what it is.
So, what is it about YouTube that like keeps us coming back? You came back, right? What is it about? Is it community? You like the community?
Community is a big part of it. It's really cool how, honestly, when I started, there was a big influence from the game chasers and the video game community. But that community is different now. It's not the retro thing. We're all like 40 years old now. So like the younger people, they're still cool. It's all good, but like we can't relate to them as much because I'm just gonna download these and play these because they're downloaded. We kind of wanted to get that NES cartridge and look at it, and like I remember I was 9 and I put that Super Mario in, and your brain is tingling with memories, and it's like for younger kids now, they don't have that because the stuff wasn't coming out when they were young. You know what I mean?
Like
So
the games are like this small now. There's nothing to admire. Like we got like a Switch recently. Finally, I got it because my son wanted it, and the games are like this big. There's nothing really. You can't really admire the art on there or whatever, but
yeah, I noticed your son is doing great with video games. I heard he's
it's been he's he latched on to that really quick. He liked it, but of course, like during this year 2020, where we've been home more than ever, like he's played a lot more than ever. I don't really like that as much because I feel like he doesn't care for his like toys as much. And at 6, I feel like that's a little not good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's really good.
Yeah.
Like it's I don't recall being that good. And I don't know if kids are just better at video games now than when we used to be, because it's so much more of a digital age.
Mm-hmm.
But he is very good. And it's, you know, me and my wife are both like, what should we be doing something with this? You know, like it's quite interesting. So we're gonna keep an eye on that, you know, and see how he does. But it's quite interesting that he's very, very good.
Yeah.
But video games are cool. I do like them. I just don't play as much. You know, I just like, for me personally, I just like, it's one of those things that I had to give up, like doing a lot of, like when I was like really doing, you know, my comics more seriously. You know, it's just, if I play video games all day, I'll never get anything done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Here, man, I stopped playing when I was, I don't know, before I went to college. I'll play once in a while, to be honest.
I'll play once in a while. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You know, now a little more now, because my son plays a lot and he's always like, come on in. So I'll take the other controller and play with him a little bit. But,
exactly.
You know, it's, you know, it's one of those things I don't want to do, because I, you know, it's also like when you have so much to do, you just don't know what to do, you know? So, and there's enough like things to like try to figure out in life, like how to keep working at the job I love, you know, because as a freelancer, I'm always like looking for the next gigs, and it's not easy, especially with no conventions where you're not meeting new people.
Oh yeah.
So it's one of those really like scary things that I hope the world situation clears up, because I don't know what's gonna happen next year. You know, like I've been good this year, and thankfully, you know, like, I mean, knock on some wood. I hope that's wood. And but you know, like, who knows? You know, like I might have to be doing something different, and like it's not like YouTube is gonna be supporting me. You know, like,
oh god.
You know, and I like do a video a day, and it's still like I'm not getting there. You know, like I'm not grabbing enough people. It's really hard.
Yeah.
I don't know what
even understand that. I watch your reviews, most of them anyway, and like it boggles my mind that you put in so much work into this, and you put out so many videos. Like, you're totally underrated. Like, you need to be pushed out by the algorithm somehow. Like,
I don't get it. You know, I try. I don't know what it is. You know, I mean, I can only just keep working. You know, like it's either that or you quit. You know, like, and I'm not gonna be quitting, you know, anytime soon.
you obviously enjoy this. Come on.
Yeah, you know, so it's just like I just want to keep going, but it would be cool if somebody threw me a bone. Like, I mean, like, I'll have my videos where I do well, but it's not every video, and it's far from like every 10 videos, you know, like it's crazy. Like, I don't get it. I have no idea. Like, I'll look at my videos and I'll look at like the next like 10 reviewers that are doing the exact same thing as I'm doing, and I don't see what they're doing that's different than what I'm doing. And you know, like it's a very, very weird YouTube's just weird, you know, and we know it, and there's been changes to YouTube as well. The algorithms have changed. That's a known fact, that algorithms have changed. I don't know what they support, you know, like I see a lot of people trying to like, and I do not like this trend, like making their videos more like kind of like memes, almost like the titles of their videos and stuff. And if you're going to review, and this is strictly reviews I'm talking about, you know, because there is place for like, you know, this type of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But like, if you're going to do a review and your title does not tell me it's a review, I'm not going to watch it, you know, like, or I'm going to start watching it and I'm going to be thinking it's something else. Right. And at the end of the day, that I personally want to push forward like a very professional like feel to that, because I want people to like watch a review and like understand the product and what it meant to me. You know, that's what it's, you know, what Ultrazilla is about, you know, but, you know, also like, you know, explain that product from like a place of some sort of knowledge, because I do have a pretty good working knowledge of the toy industry as well, because I've worked with a lot of people in the toy industry before.
Right. That's why I watch.
You know, so it's just like, it's one of those things where I don't know, you know, I don't know what it is. I turn people off in some way. I think I don't know what it, like I had like like 2018 was amazing. 2019 was pretty good as well, but not as good as 2018. But when I look at it, there was a lot of really big things that came out in 2018 that I also got my hands on first. So that was, that pushed up the numbers. But 2019 was almost equally pretty good. And this year's been like lower than those. But, you know, there's the 2020 situation, there's YouTube algorithms, there's like the whole thing that happened with Kappa. And we were like, you know, talking about this a little bit, that kind of changed the way people perceive things.
Oh, yeah.
And we have two very, you know, as far as that, and this is something I wanted to talk about, very different channels as far as that goes. Like, you make it a point to say 18 and older for your, you know, your channel. And I try to keep things a little bit more for all ages. Right. Just because, like, I just don't, like, as far as what I do, you know, when it comes to just, like, reviewing toys, I don't feel like I need, you know, to add in any, like, you know, any curse words or anything like that into the reviews. It just doesn't make any sense in the place of what I'm doing, you know? But there's reviewers that put in that over 18 thinking that that means something to YouTube and Kappa, and it really doesn't. Like, that's a misinterpretation of what Kappa is. Like, they don't, that's not what they're looking for. A toy, if you have a toy in your video, it, you know, whether you're cursing in it or not, it's looked at it, you know, his baby, little baby Godzilla. It's looked upon the same way. So that 18 doesn't really mean anything for that particular, but if you do curse in your videos and stuff like that, then that's good to have on there. Yeah. That's, for a while I made a point to, in the first, I think 30 seconds or so, just to say one not awful word, but something silly, you know, just so that the algorithm would be like, oh, okay, he's not for kids. But the rest of the video would be fine, you know, unless I'm with my friends and they say silly things. But but yeah. I don't know. No, it's nuts. No, it is. You know, it's a weird. That was a weird thing that started out the year because everybody was like, "What's going to happen to YouTube?" No, nobody cares about that anymore because we have other things to worry about. But you know, it was a very weird thing for sure, and a lot of people approach it different ways. You know, like it was good, you know, because it did get people that legitimately, you know, have a reason to put that, you know, 18 and up thing on there. Or is it 13 and up? I can't remember. Is it 13 and up? 13 and up. I'm just being safe with the 18. Okay, you do have 18. Okay, I was just like, wait, I thought it was 13. Lately, I've been doing 13 because it's pointless. I'm just gonna stop doing that probably. Like I told you before, it depends. If you do think, if you do have something in there, it's good to have that up there because then people will know, you know, that this video maybe it isn't good for kids under 13. But you know what? Kids watch everything, and that was like part of like, you know, why I was just like, yeah, this is not going to mean anything because, you know, for people that are putting that on there and then they don't have any content that can't be like, if you're putting that label on there and you're not cursing in it or anything or have any weird adult content, why are you putting it in there? You know, like kids want to see toys. Yeah. You know, like, you know, I think it's disingenuous that certain, you know, other people do that, you know, again, of course, it really depends on what you're doing, but it was one of those things that I've been like, you know, for the whole year been like, why is this person doing that when their video has nothing that is bad for kids in it, you know, like, it's just you're taking away part of your audience because no matter what YouTube is going to do, kids are going to watch YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt about it. And I know this from my own, family here, like from my son, he'll, watch anything, so we're always kind of like, maybe you shouldn't be watching that.
Yeah. What's that guy reacting to, son? I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah. No, I have nieces and nephews. They're about 6, around that age too. So I've sometimes asked them, "Hey, you watch YouTube, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, I love YouTube." And I'll ask them, "Who do you watch? What do you watch?" And I'm not gonna say it here, but some of it I'm like, "How are you watching this? None of
Right.
this is meant for you. This is not good."
Yeah.
Like, does your mom know this? I don't know. That's
So
weird.
what do you want to do with your channel going forward, you think?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So, wow. Sorry, that we got sidetracked. Didn't we?
No, it's good. That's what conversations are all about.
Yes. It's not a solid plan, but I'm definitely heading more away from the flea market life and documenting that. And I'm probably gonna lose a bunch of subscribers. I already have actually. But it's okay because I don't want to keep filming tables of people's junk anymore, and I don't want to go risking my life anymore just to make $2, from a video. So, yeah. So basically, I'm just gonna focus on trying to share myself, my interests, my collections. I collect so many different things. Also, no, and I'm like, compared to you, I'm like a little fly on the wall. That's like, oh my god. But your collection's epic, sir. But
my epically wasting a lot of money. So
whatever. We all live once.
it's true.
I would have epically wasted even more money actually last week, but my cat had to go to the vet, and she's
That's
like,
more
"I need
important.
$300, Dad." I'm like, "Ooh." So yeah. But yeah. Anyway, that's my plan. Is just share with people what I got, my interest, my knowledge over the years. I've traveled the world. I've done so many different things in my life. I've had so many different jobs. I've tried doing more of a vlog thing. When I did the walking and talking, I would just tell stories about things. A lot of people like that for some reason. It's just this weird face, just like, "Hello everybody, when I was little," But stuff like that, maybe more of that, but get more creative. I have my old professional film gear here that I haven't used almost ever on this channel. I'm gonna bust that out. A little higher quality things. Make sure my videos are better. Maybe review toys that I have, the ones that I really like, and tell people why I'm reviewing it and why I love it and why it's in my collection. Not just because I'm like, oh yeah, I just have all of those. I have 20 versions of the Megazord, just because. But I want to be like, I have that version of the Megazord because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I did at one point. Oh my god. No, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, like, I feel like when you start looking at your collection, you gotta. It's less of a review because you've had it for so long. Then it's more of like a reflection of like why you have it and stuff. You know, like I think there's a lot to be said in it, and I've been like this year, I finally took a break from buying anything because I had spent so much for so long that I literally had to say, I need a break. And plus, I didn't want to get too many packages in for a while. So I
box avalanche from your closet.
Oh God!
So collapsed.
For 4 months, I didn't buy anything at all, like as far as toys go. So I was focusing on like backlog, and I felt like if I was going to continue on that path, I was going to start reviewing stuff in the collection that I've never reviewed before, and I wanted to approach that a little bit differently, and I still do want to do that. So, but I gotta figure out how to do it, So, that's what I'm saying. I think there's ways to review like some of your stuff and make it different. And I think that's important, maybe going with YouTube going forward. It's something I've been thinking about because not working for me right now, the way it's going.
Oh man. See, here's the thing. I'm going to put my answer to the side, but the reason why I watch your channel And you particularly, because it's you, because you're an artist, you appreciate art, you appreciate what goes into. I've told you many times before, remember your series on box art?
Yeah.
Like, I was the #1 fan of that. I know it wasn't popular, but I was like, ooh, new boxes, like, you know, but whatever. But see, that's the thing. You will pick something up. And as an artist yourself, the person who follows the process and knows what it takes, and you know that, like, just one little package probably takes 10 people to, like, put it together. The artist that drew it, the guy that designed the box, the guy that put that together, the guy that bought the licensing, you know, like,
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I do know all of that stuff. And even going into a figure, when I talk about, you know, the paint on a figure, the sculpt on a figure, and the imperfections or whatever, I kind of, like, as an artist, you do understand not everything is going to come out perfect.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like a big thing. Like, and it's a big thing with the collecting community, because it's just like people go nuts over, you know, QC issues. And, you know, to me, I approach that very, very differently. And I have a very different opinion about all of that and what goes into it. But that's why I want to see more of that stuff from you, because the same reason, like, I'd like to hear more of your opinions on stuff.
Oh, thank you, sir. I mean, geez. Yeah, we'll get there. Sal, I have a collection of Hot Wheels. I have a collection of 1/18 scale cars. I have a collection of old remote control cars that I built from scratch when I was younger. I have military patches from Ukraine, like, because I'm from Ukraine, and there's all this other stuff that I can talk about from there. I have my childhood sticker collection, my sticker book from when I was like 9. You know, I've been adding to it my whole life, but wow. I can just open that up and tell you a story about each sticker. It stays there because I have the collection, you know? If I threw that out, I'd forget half of those memories, you know?
Yeah, man.
But, I guess to go back to that answer is what's on my channel is that's what it's going to be more of. Just stuff like that. Just, hey guys, check this out. Don't just fill your house with a bunch of stuff because you want to get, like, street cred from the community. Why do you need that? Does that make you happy because someone's like, hey, look at my every single Megazord? Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. I had every single Megazord. Watch my channel, whoever's watching right now. I had all of them. My whole room was covered in Megazords. And then I'm like, but I like so many other things. you know, and my mind started like, I want more of different things. And
that's what happens with me a lot too. Like, I like so many different things. And I grew up loving so many different things. Like, definitely, you know, I was definitely a huge pop culture nerd, you know, and, like, I have so many different influences and so many different things that I love. But when I started the channel, like, I was, like, really, you know, collecting more Godzilla stuff and stuff like that. And, you know, I think my first few reviews, like, really, like, had those, like, do really well for me, that, like, I think more and more people were following me for that stuff. Right. But I've like peppered this channel with so many different reviews, and a lot of people still don't realize it. Like, but this year, you know, when I came back to collecting after taking a 4-month break, I was like, I think I'm gonna try to focus more on that Godzilla, tokusatsu, robots type of stuff. But the more, but the more I you know, collected and collected and collected again, the more I started branching out again, because the interests are still there and something cool is there out there. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to get this one Venom, let's say, you know, like,
nice.
And then, like, you know, that leads to the next thing. Like, oh, I'm just going to get this one Star Wars figure, you know, and it's just like, and that's how it's like, that's how it's always grown for me, because I love so many different things.
Yeah.
And I figured, you know what, man? And even with my initial, like, all right, I'm going to really focus on this Godzilla stuff and Ultraman and whatever, the numbers still weren't there. Yeah. It wasn't like magically the numbers changed. Sure, a few reviews did very, very well, but at the end of the, and there was stuff I loved, so it's not like I was getting you know, stuff I didn't love, because I won't do that. I won't get something I don't love, you know. But I was just kind of getting a little bored, you know, like, and I was just like, I got to get other stuff again, because it's just, it's even boring for me to watch as a channel, you know, to review the same stuff over and over again. So at least it's like, if I review like, all right, Godzilla, Marvel, Star Wars, what else do I have on my table?
Oh no, are you muted?
There
you are.
Did mute myself. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like, at least if I, you know, keep myself entertained, at the very least, I'll be entertained.
Hey, that's what it's all about, though. You know, it's not selfish, but it's your channel.
Yeah.
It's that's why people tune in to watch you, and that's the thing.
Yeah, like, you know, like, I mean, I, you know, going way back to the, you know, when I was talking about film, I didn't really like it because I didn't like what the collaboration in film led to, because it's like, it was so easy to mess up somebody else's project that I was just like, I just didn't, you know, I know if I would have just kept doing it more and more with more people that knew what they were doing, things would have gotten better. But it wasn't, that learning curve seemed to be a lot steeper than like collaborating with people in comics. And then like, after collaborating with people in comics for so long now, and still doing it to this day, obviously, like, YouTube just felt like a really good release. Like, I'm just going to make this video by myself, and, you know, like, I have nobody else to blame for it, nobody else to mess it up. I'm just going to do it. And, you know, it's just all me. And whether it's good or not, whether people love it or not, I feel good about it. And honestly, like, I look back on these last 4 years of YouTube, and I have a ton of videos. Like, I'm approaching 2,000 videos here, and that's a body of work that at the end of the day, like, I do feel proud of. You know, I see a lot of progression. I see a lot of progression, you know, in, like, not only the video quality and what I do in the videos, because my videos are kind of low tech overall, you know, but they're better, you know, as they've gone on. I am a more confident person in speaking about this stuff, you know, so I'm just very happy within myself, you know, if that makes any sense.
It does completely.
You know,
dude, I understand completely.
And that's why for you, doing what you want and not to appease a certain crowd is going to be very good for you, I think.
Thank you. I hope so. And, you know, just from what you were saying, watching you progress, you know, I'm an honest person. I didn't watch every one of your videos, but I would say I've watched more than half, you know, over the years. And I've been watching you since you had like 300 subscribers or something.
No, like, you've been here for a long time, man.
And then I had like 1,000, and then like I'm watching you like I'm like, holy bajoli, like this guy's like, you know, you just flew by me. And I'm like, you know, I was impressed by your commitment, by your like steady hand. I really enjoy your honesty. I always enjoyed the fact that you did what you do and what you like doing. You know, not to like, you know, blow up your head or anything, you know, but like, you do what you do. You say what you want to say. You put your feelings out there. Like, I bought toys because I enjoyed your review of them. And there's certain toys I passed on because you were like, no, this is messed up. Like, look, it fell apart. You know, like, so yeah, dude, just thank you so much. You've been an inspiration, man. Like,
but the feeling's mutual, man. I love what you do in your videos. Like, I like the way you present yourself, and I like, you know, the way you're editing and stuff like that. You know, I think it's really, really good. So I just want to see, I just want to see more, and I'm glad you're doing more. So that's very, very cool to see. We got a question here, so we haven't had a question yet. So let's.
Oh my God, there's so many comments.
So let's see. How are you guys feeling about Godzilla vs. Kong moving to streaming? I still prefer the theater experience. And this is from Ghost Tav, who's a regular here in the chats. Well, as far as Godzilla versus Kong, I'm super happy about it. I've been campaigning for this, like on my Facebook page and on my Twitter for like the entire year. Like, let's just get this movie out there because there's no other movie I want to see more right now than that one. So for me, bring the streaming. I don't see myself personally going to a movie theater for quite a long time.
Yeah, no.
I just don't see it. So for me, like, bring all the streaming.
Of course, it's preferable to go to see it in a
Yeah,
theater,
of course,
but
of course.
would you want to die?
Yeah.
Because you wanted to see Khan fight someone else? Like, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't. It's just me.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I just don't. Personally, I don't care. I'm not. I was like barely going to the movies anymore. Anyway, like I am not a I have to run out to see something type of guy. Like I never I used to really enjoy the theater experience, but it's like gone away, more and more for me. So right now I'm like, just give me the movies and I could just be comfortable in my home and watch it.
I'm
and
with
be
you.
safe,
Yeah. But honestly, I'm the same way, but there's certain movies, if it's, not to sound pretentious, if it's like a film, let's say I would love to watch The Mandalorian in a theater, or at least on like a big projector somewhere with a good surround sound, with that bass and everything. I don't know if you're a fan of the show Mandalorian, but
I love it. Huge fan.
I've never been a huge Star Wars fan. I like Return of the Jedi because Siegel, stop it now. But honestly, Mandalorian came out. I'm like, oh, that's Baby Cart and the River Styx. That's a samurai story.
Yeah.
From Akira Kurosawa.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna stop that. But stuff like that, I feel should be in the theater to actually get the whole point of. I'm a bit of a film nerd. That's why I went.
Yeah, no, of course.
But yeah, I agree with you though. Most of the stuff now, it's fine at home. Like it's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like being home, but so it's like I'm a freelancer. You and I work here. This is where I work. So
yes,
I've got really used to being here. So it's not like one of those things where I have to go out. But yeah, I mean, I wish we had the opportunity. Nice.
In honor of you, I wore this. I'm getting hot. That's why.
yeah. It's hot out here. Whenever I do one of these lives, I tend to heat up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. So you know what? We haven't. You mentioned this a little bit. But why don't you tell everybody, what do you collect now?
Oh my God. Okay, now. Okay. We'll leave the past behind.
Right.
Okay, right now, I'm still, okay. As some of you may know, I used to be really heavy in just collecting Power Ranger stuff.
Right.
I sold most of that away.
Wait a second, 1 second. Was that why you came to my channel to begin with? Was Power Rangers?
Oh my God. Your first video that I was just getting back into collecting
I remember when
I came back from college.
Power Rangers. Okay.
You filmed something where Voltron was released.
Oh,
and they gave it to the crowd and everyone's like,
yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? And you're filming this and I'm like, this is the best video I've ever seen. Look at these people. Why are they freaking out? Like, stop tugging and grabbing on it. It's not a piece of meat. Anyway, that's
wow. Okay, that's cool. Good to know. I wanted to. Yeah. Okay, so go back to the collecting thing. Sorry.
No, that's cool. I watched that. Then you did reviews of certain Power Rangers. Then you got the Lightning stuff. Not Lightning.
Legacy.
Legacy. Silly Hasbro. But yeah, all of those. I just looked at it and I'm like, these are like sculptures. They're engineered. Like it's not just this type of toy. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love those as well. I love all toys, and I've heard you say that before. Yeah. All toys, they're just great.
Big and small.
Yes, no discriminating any toys, man. But yeah. So anyway, that's what I still have now is more of higher end, more statuettes of mostly Green Ranger and some of MMPR. My collection of that's mostly done. There's not really much that I'm like, I gotta have that holy grail. I have my Soul of Chogokin Megazord. That's the one I'm all about. It's freaking awesome. I wish it was a little more solid, but anyway, it's not a review.
My problem with it too.
Yeah, right? Yeah. But no, when you reviewed it, I was drooling. At the time, it was like $500 or something, and I'm like, oh. But then one day, my friend Leland, who might still be watching, I don't know, Leland, shout out. It's retrospective.
Yeah, is he here?
Leland, you here, man? Oh, Proceed. That's his YouTube handle.
Oh, cool. Did not realize that.
He helped me a lot with that. I met him at the flea market, and he was one of those guys that collected really cool, rare, Sentai even stuff. Yeah. And to me, Sentai was alien. Like,
yeah, I remember he had a lot of really cool stuff at ToyCon New Jersey. I was looking at his stuff on the table a lot.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and now he's heavy into Mythic Legion's customization and all that. And that's another thing that I'm slowly collecting. I'm trying not to get into the Mythic Legion's black hole because they're little art pieces. They're little like Greek sculptures of gods, And but yeah, I really love that whole scene. But anyway, I have maybe 5 or 6 of them, and sorry, you got me really excited. They are what do you call it? Homages to Motu, Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, me too. Those are the ones I've got too.
That's right, and that was the first time I met you. So yeah, you're very connected to things that I first started doing. You were there. You're like my toy angel. But yeah, I love that. I collect heavily right now for Back to the Future swag. I'm lucky that it's 35th anniversary, so it's like everywhere.
Did you get the Transformer yet? I can't remember if I saw that.
Transformers,
the Back to the Future one, the Gigawatt.
Not yet.
Okay, you gotta get that.
That's the thing I'm looking for. I think it's kind of readily available still.
Yeah.
The one thing about that, I don't like the 3D print lines on it.
Oh, I don't know if I saw that.
Yeah, I saw some reviews on it, and I'm like, for a Transformer, it's kind of weird that it's.
You just reminded me. I literally, this might look weird. I literally have a Transformer in my pocket.
I'm glad you went there.
Yeah.
Oh, that was from your other interview with what's his name?
Oh, Ben.
Yes. Those things are cool.
A little mini Optimus Prime in my pocket. he was on my kitchen table, so I was just like, I gotta remember to bring this guy back to the studio.
Very nice.
And now he seems stuck. I don't know what's going on here. Transform for me.
Birds of a feather, man. I had a Hot Wheels DeLorean in my pocket before we started the live stream.
So you were talking about customizing a little bit.
Oh, right.
Well, I mean, you're talking about collecting, but you mentioned customizing.
Right. Leland does that. So he's been also kind of an inspiration lately. I know when we met, he would constantly tell me, you inspired me to collect this or this. And like, I was like, me? What? Like, I'm just collecting stuff. But he's the most humble dude. He, by the way, works in the medical industry. So he's on the front lines, by the way. Leland, thank you, bro.
Thanks, man. Seriously.
Every day, man, risking his life. It's nuts. But anyway, he's probably not watching anymore. But customizing, I've done that since I was probably in my teens.
Oh, wow.
I would take Hot Wheels, take them apart, like turn an Aston Martin into a DeLorean by putting a little flux capacitor in there, like make little miniatures, or take a couple of Transformers, just kit bash them together, mesh them up, make something that I think is awesome, and it makes no sense, but in my eyes, I'm like, yeah, And a lot of that I either sold or whatever. I just made a Mustang 1/18 scale Shelby Mustang fastback. I turned that into an Ecto-1 Ghostbusters car.
That's awesome.
With all the stuff on the roof and everything. Yeah, so stuff like that. I've done that all the time. And I have a big case that I've customized the Battle Beast Dragon Zord. That was my baby, actually. Completely took all these old, just trash, original toys, Megazords. They were sun faded, just all the screws were rusted. Took it all apart, got rid of the rust, sanded everything down, repainted it, and then customized it in colors I wanted. And it looks amazing. Like it took a long time, but that's done. And right now, I mean, I have a little box here, a little preview. I'm working on this guy.
Yeah, this is the thing I really want to see more of.
Oh, you will. And that's the videos. Like, that's to answer your question. There's going to be videos of me working on these bad boys. And
that is awesome, man. That's going to be, if you guys didn't notice what that was, there's some Dragon Zord and some Mechagodzilla in there.
Yes, yes.
And that is incredible. Yeah.
I wish I could show more.
Oh, yeah. You got to save it. You got to save it. Save it for your video.
There's a lot of plans, and you know what? I had to find the right Mechagodzilla that's the same scale as, the fighting guy. He's painted, as you can see. There's a lot of sanding going on. Oh, wait, that's backwards. But yeah, everything. Anyway, if anyone wants to watch me make these things into original pieces of custom toys, that's what I'm going to be rocking.
Yeah, dude. I think that's got a huge audience. So, it's just a matter of like getting it out there and, putting it on your Instagram is really important because then you can hashtag that and people could, that's how you bring in more people. Honestly, it's very interesting that I feel like I've had my Instagram much less time than the YouTube. And less time, extremely less time than my Facebook page, which was first. Yeah. And the Instagram, I feel like, is growing more. Yeah. Than like any place else. I wouldn't doubt at some point. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but I feel like at some point the Instagram is going to be bigger than the YouTube for some reason. Just because. The way people pick up on stuff on Instagram. And that's what I'm saying. Like, as long as you hashtag your stuff right, I think, you're going to get more and more people like, customizers checking out your work because people love that stuff.
Doctor, I totally second that notion. Yeah. Recently, I've experienced that myself. I've posted a couple of customs that I'm kind of working on, just put some things together. And I had like 300-400 likes on it. I never had that many before, maybe 50. And now I'm noticing people are really hitting up Instagram. It's really interesting. And yeah, hashtags, you're right. Like, I started really going at it. It takes a little bit of time to get all the ideas on hashtag form, but it works. It works.
You know what I do? I actually have like a little document set up on my phone of like different hashtags, and then I just copy and paste them.
That's like the simplest, most genius idea.
Yeah, just what's good? Just take a look at what hashtags are doing really well for this particular community. Like you could just look up hashtags, and it's just like, oh, this hashtag has like 1 million hits or whatever, and then you just put it on your thing. But like, it doesn't always work, obviously. But better than it not being there,
Oh man. Let me ask you though, I mean, obviously it does work, but I always thought that if you just write all the hashtags and copy paste them, they wouldn't highlight as a hashtag?
No, they do.
I don't know. Whenever I tried that, it must have not worked or something a few years back, and I was just like, I give up,
No, it definitely works. I always do it. I have my little notepad, app, and then I'll just.
Oh, I'm totally. Thanks for the advice.
It's just easier because it's, you don't want to write the hashtags every time. It's just like, I mean, obviously you'll have to write some new hashtags here and there, but
of course,
if you have like that block of like hashtags that make sense, that's the best thing. Just makes your life easier,
I appreciate that advice. I'm totally gonna rock that.
So here's one thing I wanted to ask you. Have you done, and done customs and sold them?
Yeah. Okay. One of them was kind of embarrassing because I made the Battle Beast Dragonzord for my boy Leland. Not to bring him up again. He's back, by the way. What's up, Leland? But I made that for him with my friend Andre, who he can customize things like my Naztalgic sign. That's plasma cut out of metal with like and powder coated. It's crazy. But anyway, me and him kind of made this custom box, made all this awesome stuff, and it was for Leland's birthday. And I gave that to him, but then after a while, I was like, I didn't feel like I was done with it. I'm like, I need to make the eyes better. I need to do more weathering. I need to do this and this. So I was like, Leland, can I like trade you a 3D collage of mine that's worth more than that custom? And, you know, and so I can finish that piece. And he's like, yeah, man, hell yeah, do it. And I was like, okay. So I took that back. But after that, I sold a bunch. Like I ended up selling him that Ecto 1 Mustang.
Okay.
That was at Toy Con. Everybody was like, oh, where'd you make that? I want that. And after the con, everyone's like, did you sell that? I want to buy that now. Like I got paid already. I'm like, today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've sold a whole bunch. Not like crazy whole bunch, but maybe 5, 6 custom things I've done over the past 2 years. They sold. Collages sell as well. They're a little pricey, so I understand some people. It takes almost a month to make like a big one, kind of like that Metroid one right there. And that's another thing. I guess a segue. I am going to be making more art toys. I've been inspired by such folks as Sucklord and Knife-Eye, a couple other ones. It's a long list. And Leland, my boy, and a lot of artists. And I have a lot of amazing ideas that I think I'm going to do. And keep an eye out for that. There's going to be videos of me making these art toys as well. So I really enjoy that stuff.
And check out your Instagram, too, for process and stuff, right? Along the way.
Nostalgic, what is it? I keep changing the name. I have Nostalgic.
Well, you have like a couple.
Yeah, there's Nostalgic_TV and Nostalgic_Design. So that's my 2 things. You want to see my art? It's the design one.
Yeah, check it out. It's good stuff. Definitely. No, yeah. I mean, you gotta promote.
Hey, man.
You gotta get out there. But you know, I just realized he's missing his foot.
Oh no, Bruce!
he was missing his sneaker. One of my favorite videos of yours recently, and I guess this was one of the first videos you did back, was with Andre when you guys did the toy haul that you guys got from Tokyo Toy Bastard.
Oh yeah. That
was a really long video.
Yes. Oh my god.
But
and I'm sorry if anyone got a little sick of watching it. We got a little weird.
But there was a lot of cool stuff in there.
Yeah,
it definitely got my interest because I was like, wow, that's amazing. That's really cool.
Speaking of Jeremy, actually, I'm getting another box from him, by the way.
Nice.
So, spoilers. But he found this really amazing thing at a toy show that he went to recently, a few weeks back. And he found an Eva head, which came off of a pachinko machine.
Oh, wow.
And it's kind of like 45, I can't explain it. It's like 45 degrees cut. So you can put it up against a flat surface and it looks like it's coming out of it. And the mechanics in its mouth is still there. So as soon as he bought that and I saw his pickup video, I'm like, is that for sale? Is that for sale? He's like, only if you're using it for your art and only if it's just for you to use for your art. I was like, yeah, like not even a question. So that's coming, and that's going to be an Evangelion 3D collage I'm going to make. I'm excited.
Wow.
I got so much stuff. Most of it's from Japan too. So
that's amazing. Yeah, I love Evangelion. So that's very cool. That's actually Jeremy just actually sent me a friend request this morning on Facebook.
Nice.
No, but I didn't know his name, like for sure.
Yeah.
You know, so I was just like, wait a second. I think I know who this is because I've seen him post in like different Facebook groups.
Yes.
Like his link. So I was like, I thought it might have been him, but I was just like, is this who I think it is? I was like, it is. I was like, that's cool. So yeah,
He's the nicest dude.
We are Facebook friends now, so that's very, very cool. And I do enjoy his videos; they're very, very good.
Lately, he's been silly and making them more fun. And he also has 2 kids, and he lives there. And
I didn't realize that till very recently.
Yes.
So.
I think he's a kindergarten teacher. To be honest with you,
what?
I'm not sure.
Wow.
I don't know. I think I ever heard him say that somewhere in one of his videos. I'm like, really, Jeremy?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, I mean, living in Japan would be the dream.
Oh my God, yeah. It's definitely my bucket list. It's on there somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That would be so amazing. I mean, I love everything Japanese culture, so it's like, I haven't even been there, which is crazy. I want to go, but I don't, I want to go, but I am not a fan of flying. Even before this, I was not, like, I only traveled because my wife likes to travel. But I like being at places. Like, if I could take like a teleporter there, I'd be happy to go. But getting me on a plane is just like, I'm like B.A. Baracus. You need to give me the spiked milk.
Yeah. I totally get it, man. You have to put your life in the trust your life to a bunch of people you don't know, and you're not sure if they actually checked everything they need to check. I get paranoid with that as well.
That's exactly it. That is exactly it, Naz. Like, I am afraid of anything that I can't control.
Yeah.
If I have no control, then I'm like, I can't do anything about it. It's like, so it's one of those things where it's just like, it makes me crazy. But I would love to go to Japan. That is for sure.
Maybe someday we'll hop on a boat and do a month or 2 cruise to get to Japan.
Cruising is definitely not a good thing to do, though, right now. That's been a problem.
Yeah, no. Someday.
Someday.
Yeah.
All right, man. I know you got to get up early tomorrow.
Flea market with Andre.
You are going to the flea market with Andre, which is cool. Definitely. Are you going to do some filming tomorrow?
Yes, I'm going to do some filming. We're going super early to avoid the crowds. So we're just going to go there while people are setting up to, avoid everybody and just wear 50 masks and walk around, don't touch anything, and just film. That's it. So
I understand, man. So I think we're going to leave it at that. We'll keep it right here because my voice is getting a little, I need some, I have coffee here, but that does not help your voice.
No. I had half of my apple juice, and it's not helping either.
No, but I go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, I kind of wish that we would talk longer. I hope we can do this again.
No, we can talk longer. I mean, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't keeping you.
No, you're not keeping me. I do have to get up early, but hey, if we can, that's cool. Maybe answer some questions or something.
If anybody has any questions, let us know. Questions, comments.
Sure.
We'll bring up Ghost again. Mystic Legions is tempting. I got some goblins as companion pieces for my Figma Goblin Slayer. That is a cool idea, actually. I don't have a Goblin Slayer figure, but I do have one of those goblins, I believe. Yeah, I do. I have a goblin, and it's really cool.
Oh my goodness! All right, there's some. Hey, Matt. Someone said Andre sucks. That's not nice. I know this, Matt. I know you. Oh man, it's nice to see a bunch of people I know on here. Hi guys. Sorry, I was enamored by Sal here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We didn't pop up a lot of comments. We're very into the conversation. But yes, tea with lemon, honey and lemon helps the throat. I should have brought that down. I did something weird with my throat early on in this conversation, and I felt it. It was just like one of those weird vocal little things that sometimes just happens, and I've been trying to drink, and I'm like, nothing is working.
Oh man!
But we got another one here. What's your favorite pick for 2020? Doesn't have to be a new release. Favorite pickup, I guess. Favorite toy pickup.
I hope so.
My favorite. Let's say you know one right off the bat. So it requires some thinking with me.
Let's see. Favorite pick.
You know what? I got one right off the bat that I'm gonna say is my favorite pickup because it's not something that came out in 2020, which is good because I don't want to really give away my my tops of the year. And that's the Chogokin Gamera the Brave that I reviewed last week. I reviewed that Gamera figure. It's like partially die cast. It comes with a lot of great accessories. Beautiful figure. And I really, really loved it. Oh, he's right here. So let me.
Yay! He returns.
Yeah. So this thing is awesome. Really, really nice. I think this was my favorite pickup of the year. I got it on Mandarake for pretty much still retail price, and this was new. Which is insane. In Japan, when you go and you check it out, they really consider like the littlest nicks on a box to devalue something.
Right.
So you can find things for the exact price that it was going for back in 2004 or 5, whenever this came out, which is crazy. So I was able to get that, I mean, I still had to pay shipping for it, and this year shipping has been insane. Yeah. So, I mean, it came out to close to $100 anyway. But considering that this thing goes for, on the aftermarket here, for like $200 and up, I'd say I did pretty well. So that was my favorite pickup of the year. And you?
First of all, I want to say I want that really bad. That Gamera, is that how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
Gamera? I don't know.
I say
I love the design of it. And speaking of Jeremy earlier, he picked one up probably a month ago or so in Japan in one of his store hunting videos. And he picked it up and he was amazed that the store he went to buy one only had the one. And apparently they're really hard somehow to find. I don't know if it's the same company or whatever, but his figure was also amazing. And personally, that's when I decided after I saw your video and his video, I was like, that's my favorite kaiju, freaking monster,
I love Gamera. Like, you got, I think everybody needs a Gamera in their collection.
Oh, heck yeah. That's going to be my next thing. I'm going to have to, do some things.
One Gamera I can recommend to you right now that's came out this year and is one of my favorite toys this year is this Bandai Movie Monster Series Gamera. This is the 1995 Gamera.
Okay.
And he's a vinyl toy, but he's nicely painted. And you could get him for like 20-something bucks.
Ooh. I wonder if that's the one he picked up. I don't know.
You could get you could get this on Amazon, I believe.
Okay.
There's sellers on Amazon that are selling it for about $30 max. And that's not bad.
Would you mind?
If you were to import this, you'd have to pay a lot more because of the shipping. So
is the other one, is that considerably more?
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me, but yeah.
It is. I mean, this
just the colors. Oh my god, it's compared.
Well, this is Gamera the Brave. This is from the 2005 movie.
Okay.
And yeah, this is heavy. His whole shell is die-cast metal.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the whole shell is die-cast metal. So this thing weighs a ton. This is super light. This thing weighs a ton.
That was a weapon.
Yeah, you could kill somebody with this, no doubt. But it's gorgeous. But it does have some issues. So it's like one of those things where if you really wanted this figure and you could find it brand new for a good price, I'd say get it. But I feel like if you see it used, do not go for it because it's got some weird issues with the leg pegs. Where because it has different pegs where you could take them out and then pop in different legs for a different look.
Right.
These pegs, they didn't design them so great. And I cracked 3 of the pegs, 1 on this side and 2 on this side. They thankfully glued in perfectly because the cracks were like perfectly done. There were like no like crazy stress marks or the plastic was messed up. It was just clean cracked off because they designed it. Yeah, it just snapped off. Yeah. So I was able to just glue the pegs back on, and I still have my articulation, but I will never, ever take these legs out again. Now that I've done my review for this,
you're right.
That's it. This stays as is, on my shelf, and it's a beautiful piece to look at.
That's my next video I'm watching now.
It's gorgeous. I broke it in the video. The first peg. The first peg I broke in the video. So, and then it was funny because I have like a group with like a couple of like 3 other reviewers that from this kaiju community that we go back and forth on. And as I was telling them about that, I was like, here, look, this is what happened. Let me do it on the other leg just to show you. All I did was pull this leg out, and as I did it, I broke the other peg on the other side.
Oh my God.
It's just like, that's how weak those pegs are on that figure. So, like I said, if you could get a brand new and you really wanted that figure, go for it, but be very careful with the legs and know that that's definitely a thing that could happen because I did it on both sides. But this is gorgeous. It's a vinyl figure and it's painted really well, and I can highly recommend it because it's going to be, I can spoil this, it's going to be in my top 10 of the year. It's a great thing. Yeah. Wow. I really love that figure.
Jeez. All right. Hey, and for that price, that's
no, it's a very, very cool.
So
what was your pickup for the year? Your favorite pickup?
I don't know if there's one. I mean, there's also the Soul of Shogoken Megazord that I got at the beginning of the year from Leland, but that was like more of a trade situation. Sure. So I would say it's not a figure. It's that car that I mentioned, Eagle Moss Build a DeLorean, the giant freaking car. It's in the mail now. Well, at least the first 4 issues, and it's going to be the next 3 years of me getting issues.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to be, but I'm excited about it because I'm a huge fan, and that's something that I feel like I'll enjoy putting together. I'm going to get a lot of value out of it is what I'm trying to say, I guess. So
that's good.
Yeah.
And what's your wish list toy for 2021? What's on your wish list?
Wish list. Do you have that quick answer?
I do not. I have no idea, like, if I'll be looking for, what I'll be looking for, what I'm on the lookout for, and what I want to come out. I don't know. That's a tough question. Like, there's going to be so many toys, that are new that are going to be coming out that I have no clue about. So I don't know, like, as far as stuff I'm going to be looking for, I don't know, because those are the whims of the year for me. Like, that's how my year goes. I have ebbs and flows. I'll see something on somebody else's video and it makes me think of something else. And I'm like, oh yeah, I really wanted that. So I'll start like looking on eBay or Mandarake or wherever, I can't really say what's on my wish list, because I like to keep it organic, wherever the year takes me, it takes me.
And it does change, though, over time. You might really, really dig something, and then a few months passes and you didn't get it, and you're like, you know what? I kind of want this now, type of thing. I don't know.
That's how collecting goes, man.
Yeah, that's how collecting goes.
Yeah. Got a question for you?
From your channel, man. I don't remember if it was. I don't think it was Soul of Shogoken. It was an EVA unit. I think it was the old diecast one. I don't remember what. I know you have like a nice selection of them, so I can't put my finger on which one it was. But I remember watching your video and I was like, "That's it. That's like I only have 1995 kits. That's it."
It was something I reviewed.
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Wow, I do have.
Or maybe I just saw one of your videos and it was your EVA shelf.
That's possible.
I don't know. I know you have at least 5.
Yeah. There's a few. There's a whole shelf full. There's one that I didn't review yet that I've featured, and it actually was on my tops list of last year. But I didn't review it yet. Like, it was one of those things where I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I just kind of was intimidated to review because there was like so many accessories, and I was just like, oh god, I don't want to like put this all together.
Okay.
And that's the metal build. Eva, hold on a second.
Matt, cut it out with the Fraggle Rock questions. I hope you're taking care of them. Man, guys, look at his Power Rangers shelf. Like, I want it. I want that whole shelf back there.
And that's this.
I think it might be.
This is
That's the metal one.
Metal build Eva, whose little head thing popped out, and I can't recall where it goes, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. Something shifted. Oh, there it is. I see it.
His unicorn thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this is the metal build Eva. It's gorgeous.
And like the whole torso turns, right? Like not turns, but it like does the wave. Yeah, look at that swivel action.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's got a few points there. It's amazing. And like just playing around with it like this without any accessories, it was in my top 5 last year.
Okay.
Just without like even playing around with the accessories at all, never reviewing it. I was just like, I cannot deny that this is one of the best figures of last year. It's just amazing. Like the way it moves, the engineering here is
wow.
One of the best.
Points are metal, right?
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, that's got to be the one. I mean, to answer the other guy's question, there you go, dude.
This is it's an amazing piece. If you need an Eva piece, but the Robot Spirits one is smaller, just plastic, and that's one of the best of this year. So yeah, it's a really, really nice piece. Also, did you answer this? Will you ever collect Fraggles again?
Matt's a friend of mine. He's from the flea market. He's been in a few the newer videos, and I sold a bunch of stuff to him. And I sold they're like 12 or even bigger than 12-inch, probably 24-inch plush, plushies of Fraggles.
That's awesome.
And I needed some cash, and I sold them to him. And then I was like, I think I want to buy them back. Then I'm like, no, Nas, just let it go. And he's been, busting my chops about that.
Yeah, that's funny. So Leland here asks, how do you guys feel about selling a newly released figure for, let's say, 10 times the market price, yet again, that particular figure is sold out everywhere?
It's like the PS5.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, if a figure just came out, there's no way I'm ever going to pay that price. Because, again, this goes back to, and this is something I'm always trying to tell people on my Facebook page or whatever, like, it's, the more you feed these people doing that, the more it's going to happen. And you got to understand that there's waves of production. It's not, unless the company is super small, there's multiple runs of productions, and not everything comes out in the same place at the same time, because distribution is a matter of where the distribution center is, where that particular warehouse is. So it goes from a warehouse to, let's say the Power Rangers Lightning Collection comes out here, but you don't have it where you are. That just means they haven't delivered it yet. Like, it's because your stores are further away from the distribution center, which is also further away from the warehouse. So it's like a trickle-down effect, and it just keeps circling outwards. So people don't understand that, and they're like, oh my God, I can't find this figure here at all, or the scalpers all took it, or they think the scalpers took it. Meanwhile, it's never been there.
Yeah.
And they go out
They're on the hype train.
and they go feed other scalpers the money.
Oh my God.
I just think you just need to be patient, man. Like, people need to, one, be patient. Two, realize it's not the end of the world if you don't get these figures.
Right.
Like, it is not the end of the world if you don't get a particular toy. Who the hell cares about toys? Why are you spending 10 times the amount of money on anything?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, now, if it was this that came out in 2005 and somebody is selling it for $200 and that is the aftermarket,
right,
that's different. An aftermarket is very different than, you know, people selling stuff 10 times the amount right now of things that are out or just coming out. I don't believe in that. I think that's, you know, it's terrible for one thing. I hate people, you know, that do that. I just don't think that's right, you know. And then there's this whole other movement that I've seen. Oh man, you've got me started now. There's this whole other movement I've seen of people buying out like everything of certain figures because they're helping fellow collectors on the internet.
Oh, right.
Like,
right.
And I'm like, but you are taking it away from your community. Yeah. What about the collectors in your community? What? Shh, shh. What about the kids in your community? If you're buying stuff in a store like Target and Walmart, there is nothing that Target and Walmart sells that's not of interest to a kid. So you are not only like taking the stuff and scalping it and like making it very hard for the community around you, collector community around you, you're taking it away from all the potential kids of the future who are going to be collectors, and you're making them not want to buy the stuff because their parents could never find it for them or they couldn't get it. So they don't understand. See, scalper, it doesn't matter that they don't understand. Scalpers don't care because all they care about is making the money, right? So it's like they don't give a shit that, oops, so there you go. I got so mad that I broke my own rule that, you know, like whatever, that they just don't think about how this is harming the industry as a whole.
Yeah, man.
You know, like there's not going to be any industry for your kids.
Yeah.
Like they have kids too, right? I'm pretty sure. Like there's, you know, like they don't get it. Like it's a trickle down effect, and I think, you know, if it's been a while since it's been out and you still haven't found it, you know, do what you got to do, right? If you really want that figure. But if it just came out, be patient, relax. It'll be there, especially if it's a Hasbro product, Mattel, whatever, any of these big companies. They'll be around, you know, like even like companies like NECA are trying to make it better for people that are buying, you know, so that's all I could say about it. I don't like that whole business at all. It makes me ill, you know, like I just don't like it.
Yeah. Dude, I agree with you 100%. And I recently had a tiff with someone on Facebook, I think yesterday, and they asked the group about, hey, what are chase cars for Hot Wheels, the you know, treasure hunts? And a lot of people were just joking around, and I'm like, well, treasure hunts were intended for children to go into a store, look through pegs, and maybe get lucky and find that one little toy car with a little flame logo on it. There's only one of them out of whatever, so like it's special. But that kid can't go to Walmart anymore because there's 5 dudes over there going through all the boxes with their knives, you know, trying to scalp it all. It's meant for the kid. Like, I know there's collectors. I know there's collectors that want treasure hunts too. But I feel like also some of them are like, well, I'm just buying it, like you said, to for another collector or for someone to buy it for their son or daughter. And I'm like, how? Why don't you just leave it there and let someone come with their son or daughter and find it? Like, I don't know, maybe now because of the Sauron condition, I don't know, but like, you know, I don't know, man. But I agree with every single thing you said. It's messed up. I don't know why it's happening, man.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not just toys. It's everything.
Exactly.
It's like everything that's any sort of like hot, like
Yeah.
that people deem hot, like it's anything. So yeah, that's how we feel about that.
Remember
Luminous,
Amiibo?
yeah, right.
Oh, silly.
Luminous has a question for you, Nostalgic. How are the alternatives to flea markets, such as garage sales and Craigslist? My experience is that almost all garage sales only have baby items, and Craigslist is very overpriced.
I'll work my way from the bottom. Craigslist, I'm kind of afraid of, especially these days, because you never know where you go and who that person is.
Right.
So unless you really you got some pepper spray on you and you know which neighborhood you're going to, and who's the person gonna come out, or they're like, come in the house, I'll get you your toys. I kind of don't. I wouldn't recommend Craigslist. Let's see, garage sales. I'm all for garage sales. I actually kind of wanted to do that, other than flea markets, when I stopped my videos for flea markets, and I did do a couple. It depends on the neighborhood. It depends if you're in a city. It depends if you're in suburbs, or what kind of suburbs. You never know. The reason you're getting baby items is because it's some kind of neighborhood where a lot of people, during the housing boom or whatever, the houses were cheap, so they moved in and had a family, and that's what they're selling at this time. In 5 years, those kids are gonna have other toys. In 10 years, they're gonna have other toys. So it's all in waves. So yard sales are the best, I think. You just have to really do your research on which neighborhood you go to.
Yeah.
You can go to a rich people neighborhood and get plasma TVs because they don't care. They want the new one, and that one still works perfect, but they're like, I don't care, So nothing wrong with that. You got money, throw it out. But, I'll go there and take your TV because it's free and it's better than mine.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Ghost, I asked you. Top anime, movie, TV show you'd recommend that you saw in 2020. Doesn't have to be a new property.
My God, what's with all these questions for me?
You're the guest.
I guess. You're more interesting, though. Nostalgic top anime, movie, TV show you'd recommend that you saw in 2020. Doesn't have to be new property. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to keep going. Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anime, I kind of stopped watching when I went to college. Before that, it was like Samurai X. I absolutely love Kenshin, stuff like that. What am I watching? These are so hard to answer when you're on the spot, man. I don't know how people do it. After this live stream, I'll be like, oh. But TV show. Yeah, I mean, Mandalorian movie. I don't know.
I haven't watched too many movies. We started watching the new Borat movie a few weeks ago. Okay. And I couldn't get into it. It was maybe more because the U.S. has become so messed up that I just really don't even want to see the people that they were featuring.
Too much cringe?
Yeah, it was so much cringe that me and my wife were like, we got to shut this off. We were it was the first, I swear to you, it was the first movie in years that we've attempted to watch after my son went to sleep. Let's just watch a movie tonight. Let's try to watch Borat because the first one cracked us up,
Yeah, first one was nice, yeah.
Yeah, but man, I don't know, 20 minutes in, we had to shut it off. It was we were cringing so hard that we were just I can't watch this.
Yeah, wow.
But Mandalorian is our probably top show, and me and my son watch Ultraman Z, which is
I want to try that.
It's really good. It's really good. YouTube, the Ultraman official channel, free. I mean, they take off the episodes every two, after 2 weeks, so you only got 2 weeks to watch a new episode. Okay. But the last 3 episodes would still be up, and it's really, really good. So.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't watch too much. I feel like.
Yeah, sorry, Gustav. I wish I could remember other things other than Mandalorian, but I've been watching a lot of car restoration videos. I'm also really into cars. I used to be a street racer. Don't do that; it's illegal.
The secret life of nostalgia.
Yes, there's a whole nostalgic trips video where I tell that story. It's 2 hours of me walking in the park. some risky things that happened. But yeah. Anyway.
Atomic Vinyl Reviews is here. What's up, man? What I miss? So we're talking about scalpers. We were talking about scalpers. Yep. Sometimes you gotta talk about the scalpers. Ultra Ghidorah 2004. What do you guys think about the new Godzilla vs. Kong news? Like the banner. Like the banner? Oh, the new logo? It's fine. There's been like 4 logos for this movie already because it's taken so long to come out. But the news is that it's going straight to streaming. We talked about this earlier. Bring it on is what I said. You know, that would be really cool. Let's see.
I'm just getting back into the whole Godzilla stuff. I only watched a couple movies when I was younger. I don't even know which ones they were. And I was a King Kong fan. And it's probably the worst movie. Maybe you can tell me which one it was, where he got a freaking pacemaker.
Oh, yeah, King Kong Lives.
Okay, I was a kid when I watched that. I don't know why. I was watching it. I'm like, what? Huh? What? Like, that was one of my favorite movies back then. And Godzilla, the next one I want to see, I haven't seen yet, is Shin Godzilla. But I hear there's way too many titles and writings on the screen.
Yeah, but it's a good movie. I think you'll appreciate it as a filmmaker.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Follow up here. Good answer. I guess for our scalper thing. I only brought that up because I've seen these sellers post on Facebook of them selling you NECA token arrays off at upwards of $250 for the 2-pack. Get out of here. Yeah, that's nuts. And that's just coming out now, right? So, like, you know, yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, Sal, by the way, I pre-ordered that Hot Wheels hoverboard, Amazon exclusive, whatever. It was only $20. I just got lucky, but I checked on eBay the other day. It's like $250.
What?
Like, yeah, and it's not even like out yet. They're selling the pre-order. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah,
it's crazy. I'm not selling it. That's another rule of mine. Future, I'm doing stuff for me. I'm collecting stuff. I'm not scalping. I'm not reselling. Unless I'm just so sick of it and I want to buy something, I'll make a pile, sell that, buy a new thing. That's it.
I hear you, man. Comic Vinyl Reviews says that he's never found any good collectibles at garage sales. I did not. I did get a sick deal for a great Squire Strat once. That's cool. That's
there
very
you go.
Cool. Yeah. You know what? You know what's funny is, like, I don't have a ton of experience at flea markets or garage sales. I haven't gone to too many in my 40+ years of life. I really haven't. And the times I have, I've never found anything good myself, to tell you the truth. You know, so you guys get lucky. Or you just go to so many that you get a lot of cool, you know. It's a law of averages.
Sal, there's an art to it. I can honestly do a whole episode talking about it. But because I've been in it for so long, there's certain times you got to go. There's certain days you got to go. There's flea markets that people go on a Sunday, but there's dealer day at certain markets, like Columbus Flea Market, where I usually film. There's a Thursday that you can go. Most people are at work, but if you don't work or you have a day off, you go on a Thursday. That's dealer day. Most of the regular crowd isn't there. You show up at 5:30, 6 o'clock when they're still setting up. You will find gold. Like a lot of people know this that are resellers, you know, whatever, people like that, or that's what they do for a living. Like, I know a couple of friends that do that. But yeah, you just have to know the times. You have to know the people. Then you network with those people. You have to focus on doing that. And that's why I'm backing away. I don't want that to be my life. And, you know, so yeah, there's strategies, business strategies, and, you know, yeah.
That's interesting.
I'll tell you about it later, so.
Yeah, he also says, see Shin Godzilla, it's a top-tier movie.
Nice.
Oh, Luna says King Kong Lives is horrible. See, I actually haven't seen that movie since I was a kid. So,
same here. That's the thing. So, maybe it's awful now.
It probably is awful, but like, I have memories of liking that movie. I think. I don't know. It's a very, very, you know, your mind's eye things. It is.
Nostalgia goggles is what they call them.
We got more Godzilla vs. Kong. Well, this is a big topic because they just announced it's going to HBO Max this week. So Do you think that Godzilla versus Kong will have two versions, one where Kong loses and the other where he wins? No, I don't. I've my theory on Godzilla versus Kong, and I've said this, I feel like almost every live stream that we've talked, I've talked about this, is that it's gonna end with Godzilla dying and Kong becoming the king of the monsters, and that's how he becomes King Kong. Because right now he's just Kong.
Ah.
So I don't think there's going to be two different endings. I think it's just going to be one ending, and that's what I think is going to happen. Because for all I know, Toho has not re-upped for Godzilla being with Legendary past this, so at least not yet.
Mm.
So yeah. Are you going to G-Fest next, I guess next year, if it is open to the public? No, and I don't. I have personal reasons to never go to G-Fest, even though it's someplace I wish I would have went already, because I've been to Chicago a million times. I just never for G-Fest, but I don't like, in this past year, the guy that runs G-Fest has done a lot of weird things that I don't care for, and let's just say I will never be going to G-Fest as long as that person is running it. So
this time it's personal.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you can't support certain things, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Linda Hamilton is actually good in King Kong Lives. She has a risque scene as well. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Oh my!
Oh my! I don't remember. I really don't.
Right?
Wasn't there a risque scene with Lady Kong too? Because
Oh my God!
there is a baby Kong at the end of the movie. Spoiler.
Oh boy! So the camera pans to a clock wall clock.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Hold on 1 second. I want to show something.
Nice. Hey guys, keep them questions coming if you want. Ooh, there he is.
All right. So since Atomic Vinyl Reviews is on board here as well, and he's the first person that I actually know to actually pick this up before me. This is like a bootleg King Kong that I got off of AliExpress, but it's based on the Mezco King Kong from 2005. Like, it's old. Like, that first one is old, and it's on the aftermarket. It's super expensive now. So I was just like, man, I always wanted to get that one, but now I got this big dude here.
He's huge.
He's huge, and he shipped. He cost me $45.
Oh.
So I couldn't pass that up.
Yeah.
Like, this is a huge figure. So I just wanted to show it here because I'm not doing my regular Haul of the Week video this week. So here's a look at this Kong.
Was that the photo you posted on Instagram of him recently?
Yes.
Okay. He looked really shiny in that photo. Is he shiny? I can't tell here.
No, he's not shiny. That was outdoors, so maybe it just looked.
Okay.
Like the sun was shining. Yeah.
All right.
So it's it's worth it if you're a big Kong fan like I am. Just to have like this like sculpt, in the collection. It's pretty cool.
It looks amazing.
It's not perfect. It's far from perfect, but it's still cool. This stuff, yeah, for something that's like, I think the regular one is going for like $350 and above, so I'm not going to be really spending for that. Maybe one day if I could find it at a flea market or something, who knows, for cheap, I'll get it. But, got another question for you.
Oh,
do you go to flea markets early so you can see the dealers as they arrive? I know one collector who does that.
Where were you 5 minutes ago, sir? Well, not now, because I'm not really out there trying to score the deal of the day. I'm not there to compete with anyone. So I don't now. Now I kind of go more I go in the morning just to avoid the crowds and Sauron. But other than that, I'm not there to go like see some guy I know, because I know he does house cleanouts, and I know that he knows that people come up to him for certain toys or certain collectibles, and that's what he saves from those house cleanouts. But yeah, that's the only reason to go in the morning. See the dealers there. Yeah, and that's back in the day. I would go, if you go to my flea market days videos, go to like, I don't know, number 50 or whatever, before 200, when I was still by myself mostly, like hunting nonchalant, no one would recognize me or anything. So like I was able to do that. I would go there with a flashlight, and I would literally see people unpack and see what comes out. And there weren't too much competition back then. I would come home with buckets and bins of stuff. Like, it was amazing back then. It's different now, so it might not matter as much.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Just put a cap on this Kong thing. It's hard to find an accurate 2005 Kong. I have hopes for the Rebor figure, though. Yeah, me too, man. Rebor is a, if you don't know Naz, it's a company out of the UK. They do like a lot of dinosaur figures.
Okay.
They're very cool. Like I have, where's the closest one? Well, oh God. Wait. Got it. Okay. So this is the Vasasaurus Rex, which is from the 2005 Kong, which no one's really done a really nice figure of. And they did one. They did two, actually. I have two of them.
Is it solid or hollow?
Solid. It's really solid. Does it have? It only has really one point of articulation, the mouth.
Oh.
But
did Toys R Us used to carry them?
No.
But you know what I'm talking about. They kind of had highly detailed.
Okay. Yeah, I had one of those here.
I had a Raptor, yeah, and only the jaw moved.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that, but like even more high quality.
Okay.
So they're doing a Kong figure. Like, you know, it's a gorilla, right? Because like the 2005 Kong is pretty much a giant gorilla. Like there's no like stylistic, anything to it. But since they made these, and this is not a real dinosaur. This is obviously the V-Rex from 2005, King Kong.
Oh, the one that he,
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So,
that's amazing.
Yeah, so they're going to make a concert. Yeah, I have that on pre-order as well. It's taking forever to get here. It's apparently out in the UK, that one. But here it's not out yet. They were still waiting for it. I have it at BBTS waiting for it. So,
Oh, man. Sal, you are not good for me, man. I'm gonna end up getting all these things now.
What is your opinion on the new Monster Hunter movie? I can't wait. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's got some controversy right now. It came out in theaters in China this week, and apparently there's like a major controversy, and they've already taken it out of theaters because there was like some weird, like stupid joke in it that was very offensive. There.
Okay.
So like how do you not realize that you put in an offensive joke into the only market this movie is being played in right now? Like, how do you realize that? That's very strange. Yes, Ultra Ghidorah. Yep, that's a thing that's happening right now. I'm still looking forward to seeing it when it comes out on streaming or DVD or whatever. A DVD, Blu-ray. So yeah, like that's something I'm looking forward to seeing. But yeah, they've had some bad things happen right out of the gate. Oh yes, that V-Rex does have a bendy wire tail. I forgot about that. Yes, it does. So,
cool.
Yeah. Is that it? Oh, hold on. How are you liking Transformers Kingdom Wave 2? Oh, that skeleton Triceratops looks really good. Yes, I pre-ordered that skeleton Triceratops. And is that the only thing I pre-ordered from Wave 2? I'm only trying to get Beast Wars from the new Transformers because it's just cooler. I like, Beast stuff, and I'm just kind of sick of the vehicles. But so that's what I'm trying to do, even though I have like little Optimus Prime here. But I am getting the Studio Series 1986 movie stuff. I actually have Hot Rod coming already. So, but that's it for those. And I think that's it, man. I gotta cut this down because
no worries. I just wanted to say to the people that are watching, there's a couple of guys on your screen that are looking for a Generation 1 Jetfire. One of them is looking for one that's in great shape, and one of them is looking for one that's like beat up so he can make a custom out of it. So let one of us know, or both of us know, if you're in possession of one or two of those requests.
Okay, yes. I am definitely looking on the lookout. You did hook me up with someone that did have a Jetfire they were selling at some point on Instagram, but we couldn't work out a deal.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just for the condition that particular Jetfire was in. I just didn't want to pay too much for it.
Oh, for sure. That's the thing.
So
or the red armor and all that. Like
right.
The one I had bad shoulder joints. Anyway, yeah.
You know what? It's funny is I was gonna mention Jetfire earlier when we were saying stuff that we might be looking out for in 2021. I'm always looking out for like any of like I have a few like real grails, and for me, Grail is something that I really wanted as a kid and didn't have. You know what I'm saying? And G1 Jetfire is one of those. I have 3. Well, one of them I did have, but I just want it again. And that's the Shogun Warriors Godzilla. The big Godzilla where you press the button on his arm and his arm flew out and he had the little fire tongue.
Yes.
I had that when I was a kid. And I want it, a really good one now. I also want the Matchbox Voltron, which was the die, which I have basically. Like I have the mold.
I had one. It was incomplete. That was one of the things I sold before the YouTube personal crisis I had.
Oh God. Okay, so this is it. This is the mold. This is the same mold that was the Matchbox Voltron, but this is the reissue from Trendmasters from the 90s.
Okay.
So Trendmasters reissued it's the exact same mold as the Matchbox one, but the colors are a little bit different when they reissued it, It's still awesome. I'm still like this. I love this thing because of what it means, what it is. But there's also versions of this that predate that Matchbox one.
Yes.
From Japan. Like there was the, it originally came out from Popey, which Popey became Bandai. Originally, also there was one through Bandai, and then they brought it here in the United States for the first time in a line called Go Daikin. So this mold has been around for a long time. And then there was the Matchbox one in the mid 80s, which is like every like kid, wanted. And well, every kid that liked Voltron, right?
Or metal robots. Geez.
Right. And that was the one I wanted. Like some people are like, oh, but why don't you just go try to get the Go Daikin? That's even older, or the Japanese one. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. Like it has to be that particular one because that was the one that I remember the commercials of. And I remember seeing it in the store and my parents wouldn't get it for me. Like it was one of those things where, and it's the exact same thing as this, but
it's from your time. It was there with you during that time.
So that was the one, there's also another Voltron called the Pinoche Place Voltron. And I only ever had a yellow lion of that when I was a kid. So I would love that, but it's not as high as a priority. And somebody, I forgot who it was. Somebody from the he was one of the dealers at ToyCon New Jersey. forget who his name. He had one, but he was selling it for a lot too. So I was just like, eh. But yeah, those were like probably my like real grails.
Okay. Again, the guy that you just met from Japan, Tokyo Toy Bastard, he might be able to help you out.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
You never know. So let's see. Yes, the G1 Jetfire is the Valkyrie from Macross. They actually took the figure from Macross and made it a Transformer figure, and then they had to work it into the cartoon because of that. And my Grail figure, it was a Kyoto Shin Godzilla. Finally got it this year. Excellent. It's always good when you could like get a Grail like this. I could bring this guy back. This guy and the black Mechagodzilla. I don't know if you saw it on my channel. It was like one of the most popular picks of the year for me.
Yes.
It was two like mini grails. Like they were things that I found out about, let's say in the last like 15 years or so, that I wanted to get. So I was able to get two of those things. So I count those as mini grails because I was already an adult at the time of their release, and it doesn't mean as much to me to get like I love that I got this Gamera and that Mechagodzilla. I love that, you know, and that I was able to get them both at pretty much the price that they were when they came out. But it doesn't mean as much to me as if I was to get one of those things from when I was a kid.
For sure.
So that to me is, for me personally, is what a Grail really is.
Sir, we're on the same wavelength about that. Trust me.
Okay. One more question. I gotta go. Oh, he said, okay. Godzilla. Well, okay. He meant Ultrazilla. Will you be getting the Storm collectibles of Battle of the Planets? I want to. I definitely want to. You know, the Gotcha Man stuff, G-Force, Battle of the Planets. Yes. That was another thing that I didn't watch as much of when I was a kid, but it was definitely like around. So I wouldn't mind the Storm Collectibles versions of those for sure. So yeah. And on that note, Naz, I really appreciate you coming on, man. This has been really fun. We talked a little bit longer than we said we were gonna do, but it was really great.
It was good conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you guys will jump onto Naz's channel. The link should be in my description here. I don't actually have the YouTube page up, so I can't remember what I wrote. But if not, I will put it in the comments. Definitely go sub to his channel because he's going to have a lot of cool stuff coming up. And he's got a really great backlog of videos.
That's how you spell it right there.
Naztalgic.
All right. Sal, dude, it was an honor. Thank you so much for having me here. Like I had so much fun. I learned a lot. Now I know I want Gamera, and I want that Eva unit that you got, the all metal one, metal build, I believe you said.
That one's amazing. That one's a little pricey, but it's really good.
Hey, if it's going into your forever collection, sometimes you gotta bite the bullet, you know?
Yeah. So I posted a link up.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
For you guys in the chat, and you guys can go there and sign on up. That's the link, right? That's the right link?
Yes. Yeah, I know. I don't know why it says Frotioli, but yeah, that'll take you there.
Yeah, I'll take you there. Yeah, I don't know. That's what it came up when I typed in your name.
It was something Italian that someone came up with when I was in Italy. Long story.
When you first started, and it just got yeah, I hear you, man. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks again, Naz. Great talking to you. Have fun at the flea market tomorrow. Stay safe. And that's it. Till next time. Yeah. Peace out, peeps.